to deal and be overburdened with ad hoc, Madlanga, criminal, disciplinary, and where I'm sitting now today, where I'm sitting as we speak, I'm expected to submit my close-up arguments for my discipline today. My lawyers have been sitting with me, we've been working, we've been here throughout the week. At the same time, the police, another process is running that is actually looking forward to firing me that side, and I'm sitting here. So I'm just saying, a lot has been happening in my life in such a way that I'm moving from this office to that office, from this office to that office, from this lawyer to that office. So there's a whole lot of things in my mind. So where there's oversight, where there's something that I missed, forgive me, but there's a bottom line that I just want to say to the chair and to the commissioners. I never received any impalas or any bags from Mr. Matlala or have them delivered to my place. So as to why this message and why this coincidence, I'll accept it as a coincidence. Thank you very much.
All right, General, I hear the difficulties that you have because of the many processes, but I still do require an answer to my question. So I'm going to pose it differently. We've seen the images of those, and I must say first that I agree with you that for us black people, as you say, there's a springbok. Maybe somebody refers to it as an imbala. I know that my kids refer to it as a McDonald's because of how much of it there is in the Kruger Park. But on a serious note, what I want to understand is where you refer to antelopes in your statement, are you referring to a springbok or an impala? What is an antelope? And keep in mind those images that you admit you had on your farm. Is that what you're referring to when you say antelopes? Those images, those animals that we see? I think I used the word waterback, and then we had to look for the right word, antelope. Yes. Okay.
And then all those words. So this one is the one that I know that they were bought because at some point where I had a lady that normally when I want to buy ducks, chickens, egg laying, whatever to buy, she would tell me where to find. Now that lady, because I lost contact in all the phones and everything, she's the one actually who advised where we can get that. And then it happened that I see that they also selling 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
That's when I sent the driver there at some point to
okay. General, my question though, in 34, you say we have antelopes, blesboks, and emus. You've explained to us what an emu is. You've described blesboks. You said the ones with horns. Now I'm asking again, when you say antelopes, are you referring to the animals, the kind of animal that we saw in the picture?
If you were to ask me what is an antelope and what is a blackbok, Chair, what is an antelope, what is a blackbok, what is
an emu?
I can't say this one is a blackbok, this one is this.
No, you can, General. You've described to us what an emu is. You said the one that looks like an ostrich. So let's strike that off. We know that when you say antelope, you're not referring to that one. You know that particular animal, so you've told us that. 2, you've described to us what you say is a blesbok. You said the animal with horns. Unless you tell us when you say blesbok, you mean that what we saw in the picture. I don't think you do. Then it leaves us with antelopes, what you've called an antelope. Now, what I'm asking you is when you say antelopes in paragraph 34, are you referring to an animal that it looks like, or that is the one we saw in those pictures? HKS 12. Is that, whatever other name it has, don't fixate on its many other names, or you actually don't quite know what its proper name is. My question is simple. When you say antelopes in your statement, are you referring to the animals that are in the picture that we saw?
I could be referring to that, Chair, because
Okay.
Blesbok is an Afrikaans name, I guess.
I'm going to take your answer to be yes. When I say antelopes, because of how you're answering, and I've repeated the question, and I must say, General, I think you understand the question, and I think you do have an answer. But I'm going to take it that your answer means that when you say antelopes, you refer to the kind of animal that is in those pictures. Now, on that basis, you then, in paragraph 36, if you would go to your statement, you then, in paragraph 36, and you now say, the last of the antelope passed away in November 2023. Given this discussion that we've had where you're not giving a straight answer about what is an antelope, and I've told you that I'm accepting your answer to be an antelope is what is in the picture. You say they died, the last died in November 2023. So you no longer have antelopes from November 2023 or beyond November 23. That's what you tell us. And then you say, I then started looking for a blesbok. You do know the difference. You know that a blesbok is on your own statement. You distinguish an antelope from a blesbok. You now no longer have antelopes. Mr. Matala offers to get blesboks for you. Mr. I think it's Van der Merwe says they will be delivered. Mr. Matala says to Mr. Van der Merwe, check your account, which means payment has gone through. They are to be
Sorry,
delivered.
Chair.
Yes.
I hear the Commissioner saying Mr. Matlala then offers.
Yes.
I don't remember saying Mr. Matlala offered to.
Mr. Matala tells Sergeant Nkosi, sends Sergeant Nkosi a voice note about delivery of impalas. You remember that WhatsApp exchange?
Okay.
Okay. And then we had another WhatsApp exchange that was put in a series that was put on the screen where the farm manager says they will be delivered, right? You remember that WhatsApp exchange? Thank you. So, I don't want us to lose track of the facts that are emerging from your statement and from your evidence. It is that your last antelope died in November 2023. Your exchange with General Sintumule on the 27th of March 2024, that was HKS 12, shows antelopes, what you call antelopes, which everyone else says it's impalas, having died that morning. And in between, there's no explanation, when did you get them again? You deny you got them from Mr. Matala. So the picture that emerges is you are not being truthful when you say beyond November, you say the last died in November 2023, and I never had them after that, in your statement at least. You're not being truthful. You actually procured them after this, and they died. The last one died the morning of the 27th of March, according to your WhatsApp message. Now you can comment.
Like I'm saying, Chair, it is very unfortunate for me that my recollection or a memory in terms of now the timelines binds me, and I get caught up between the timelines and the drafting and and having to work out of my memory, and then I put timelines very wrong or maybe in a mixed up situation in such a way that at some point now you begin to appear like you are not being truthful. The disadvantage that I just have is that I'm not like any other person who's operating under normal circumstances, who's in office with all the proper record, with his gadget and everything. So now here am I being regarded as not being truthful when all my gadgets have been taken, and every record that I don't even have any access to anything. So I'm operating from where I'm sitting. Now, where I made a mistake of a date and say, all right, like I indicated that I did ask my driver from home to be the one to assist me, and which we did. Now, that being the case, and the drafting, remember sometimes when you draft is to and fro, but I never had that luxury of toing and froing for a document and say, no, here I think we missed the following. So if I am at fault for that, it's my apology, but it's not that I'm being evasive or untruthful.
Thank you, General.
General, please read paragraph 44 of your statement, the first sentence. The supplementary statement.
Remember the heading before 33 is the so-called Impala controversy.
The heading is the so-called Impala controversy. So you know you are dealing with Impala, and what you are being asked to address is the issue of Impala. Now read the first sentence of paragraph 44 of your statement.
Paragraph 44, I categorically deny that I acquired or received any Impala from Mr. Madlanga, which is the fact.
No, finish the sentence, please.
Oh, he said the first sentence. That's why I was reading the first sentence.
No, but then
No.
you must get to the full stop,
Full.
Chair.
Yes.
General, why do you stop at the comma?
Chair, I went to school under a tree. So you said the first sentence, and I just went for the first sentence.
It ends at the full stop, not at the comma. That's my point.
Yeah, I know. I'm one of those who went under a tree at school.
Don't worry about that. Just please read it.
I categorically deny that I acquired or received any Impala from Mr. Madlanga or from any other person for that matter.
Now, General, you see, you say you deny that you A, acquired, and then B, received. So you're saying you did not acquire any Impala from Mr. Madlanga or any other person. So you even disqualifying your Zimbabwean friend who you say acquired for Impala for you. Because if you say you did not acquire an Impala from any person, then it means you didn't acquire an Impala even from your Zimbabwean friend.
To me, Chair, is where English comes in. Not hiding behind English, just to say from my side, in my mindset, I did not acquire from Mr. Madlanga or any other person for that matter, not discounting the fact that what I'm saying from my own angle. I was just saying I did not acquire it from any other person giving to me.
Because you're saying two things here, General. Yeah. You're saying I did not acquire it from Madlanga or any other person, and I did not receive it from Mr. Madlanga or any other person. Now, what was so difficult for you to say, as at the period referred to, the controversial period, I already had 4 Impala in my property. I did not require any other Impala because I already had it. In your statement, you do not say anywhere that in March 2024, you had Impala in your property.
Chair, I wish you were there when, Commissioner Bali, I wish you were there when we were drafting, and then I could have actually put it that way.
I haven't acquired her surname.
No,
Not yet.
What I'm saying is that the way you put it so nicely, and I wish that this is what I had. Now, unfortunately for me, the mindset sometimes as we draft, I've seen instances where you draft like this, and then another council come and say, but why don't you put it this way? So it's just, to me, a drafting approach from a particular drafter. So I'm just saying, I accept that maybe my wordings may be falling short somewhere, somehow, and or indirectly implying something that I didn't mean to imply.
Because, General, here is the problem. This section of your affidavit addresses the so-called Impala controversy. And you do it in 4 pages, from page 1, 2, 3. 3 pages, it's 4 actually. And nowhere in those 4 pages do you say, in March 2024, I owned Impala and I had them in my property. And that is a problem. Because you're only mentioning it now when you are shown the photos. And I specifically asked you a question. Are those animals that we see there, are they impalas, yes or no? You said they are impalas. But nowhere in your statement do you say, on the 27th of March, I owned impalas and I had them in my property. And you have had General Sentumule's affidavit and the photos since Friday. So you've had the whole weekend to go through it. And at no stage in your affidavit do you say, the animals that are depicted in the annexures to General Sentumule's affidavit, I had them in my property in March 2024. Nowhere do you say that.
You see, Chair, sometimes when you are in a situation that I'm facing where you have to draft something and you craft something, and this thing is to be subjected to intense probing or cross-examination, other things begin to pop out that ask certain questions and that require specific questions or answers, that at that time when you were crafting, you craft and you say, all right, let me keep it short, let me not go too deep in 1, 2, 3, 4. Some of the questions you may have to respond to, you'll speak to them if asked. But now when you are sitting here, they ask a question and say, yeah, but why did you deliberately choose to ignore 1, 2, 3, 4, or specifically don't mention 1, 2, 3, 4? And of which sometimes it might be a question of, said, no, don't put too much details. You will respond to it. Now, unfortunately, I'm being asked now, but why did you deliberately choose to omit 1, 2, 3? It does happen, commissioners, and not because of I'm being evasive.
Sure, thanks, General. I think the concern is that what you omit is not something small. The kind of evidence that you're now answering in response to questions are not issues that are peripheral. This section is called Impala controversy. You called it that in your statement. The reason it's a controversy is because it involves acquiring Impala from Mr. Madlanga. Isn't that so? That's why it became controversial. I mean, if you had Impalas on your, as part of whatever it is, but not from people you shouldn't be getting gifts from, then it wouldn't be an issue, right? It's a controversy because of Mr. Madlanga. Isn't that so?
Yes.
So there's another glaring omission from this section on the Impalas, and that is that you don't address, you've said to Commission now that you notice that Sergeant Nkosi says to you from CAT, and you say that you took distance from it because, well, you said, as we said, 2 things. One is you said you don't want Impala, we've dealt with that now. The second was you took distance from that because you will not accept anything from a service provider, right? That's actually the heart of what this section is about. But you don't deal with it at all in your statement. Why did you not deal with it in the statement and only when it was put to you in questions?
Yes, in a situation like this, it is easy to ask such a question from where I'm sitting because I'm the one who's expected to explain. But if I'm allowed to give a different but similar and relevant example, I don't know if the chair is going to stop me from.
No, I don't know what the chair will say.
No,
but I have
I understand, but I want to give a similar
similar to what?
example. And this thing, and I wish up until, I'm not going to say a long statement, I'm going to put one statement. If I'm allowed, Chair.
You see, the difficulty is I have no idea what you're going to talk about and to what extent, if at all, it relates to the question being asked.
I want to give a practical example of that it is possible. And not that you are hiding something, but it is doable.
Oh, all right, let's hear it.
When General Mkhwanazi testified here, he never made mention that he ever met Madlanga at anywhere, in any way. When General Senona testified here, he says, I went with him there. Then General Mkhwanazi sent a message to Senona and say, you see now your client said is now exposing our meeting and he never said this and this and that. What I'm just trying to say, that omission, at that point in time, maybe it was not necessary for him to say it, but I was just giving a similar type of approach and say, look, it does happen that it's not like my omission was deliberate. Sometimes it just never, at that point in time.
No, General. The difference is you say in your statement at paragraph 38, you say, over time the remaining antelope also died, save for one blessed bog which is still on the plot. That's what you say in your statement. So at that point, you did have the opportunity, because remember the preceding paragraphs, you're talking about escalating costs, you no longer have money, and so you cease dealing in antelopes and emus and blessed bog. That's the background to it. And then you say at 34, over time, the remainder died, save for one blessed bog. And then at a certain stage, it began to display unusual behavior, and then that's when now you introduce Sergeant Nkosi, you account for the exchanges with Sergeant Nkosi. What is being put to you is that, but the way you describe what happens to your animals over time, it's curious at best that you don't mention that when you were left with, as they were dying, you got your friend or your driver to get other animals, which you still had by the time you were communicating with Mr. Nkosi, with Sergeant Nkosi about getting your animals. You don't mention that. In fact, you create the impression, and I think that is the correct impression, that they had all died. And you were left with only one, and in March 2024, you were being offered, we'll call them antelopes because that's the language you are using. You were being offered impalas at that time.
Chair, I may have to revert to my notes as I drafted, as I was writing and sending to my counsel, and then she was drafting. So I just wanted to ascertain whether, didn't I really also indicate that I acquired some in between? Because, like I said, Chair, it was completed late last night to an extent that the other concern was you've got to sleep early because you've got a long day tomorrow, and the council also, when I called, she was already sleeping because she's been working hard on this document, and we met in the morning. Some of the greater or finer details could have been really fixed, and I know it's not the problem of the evidence leader nor the commission, but I take the blame, evidence Defense Leader.
General, thanks. I just want to say that what I was putting to you was not just the issue of the impalas and the missing information. It was also about not dealing with Mr. Madlanga, because why this is a controversy in the first place. So it's not the finer details that are missing. What you put on record more than once, including in your statement of 16 January, was that you categorically, and you're not tentative about your evidence, you say you categorically deny that you received anything from Mr. Madlanga. So you say that in relation to the impalas, you say that no, it did not involve Mr. Madlanga. Then we take you to the messages, and the messages show that in fact the arrangement was through Mr. Madlanga, because it says from CAT. So then you say, well, yes, you realized that, and so your way of dealing with it was to say you're not going to accept delivery from a service provider. But then when you're taken to the evidence which shows that there was delivery and that there are impala on your property, coincidentally, after the date of delivery, as we see from the chats, then you say that the Zimbabwean gardener went and procured it for you. So that's what I am putting to you about the inconsistencies, and that the omissions that you are now filling in as we go along are not just the finer details. They actually goes to the heart of this issue of the impala controversy. So do you understand where I'm coming from? These are very important facts that were omitted.
You went too long. Can you give me half of what you said so that I respond and go to the next one?
No, it's the whole picture.
No.
I can't give you half, because and that's why I laid it out from the beginning to say this is what you said and then you changed. This is what you said and then you changed. So each time when you say, well, no, you didn't put it in your statement, it's an omission, it's a finer detail you could have. I'm saying to you those omissions, whether it's about, the fact that you knew that Mr. Madlanga was involved in this, or whether it was about the delivery of the impalas, that they were on your property, that they died on the 27th of March, all of those things are important facts that you don't deal with except when you questioned on
One
it.
thing that I've categorically made clear is that I never asked Mr. Nkosi to approach Mr. Madlanga. I didn't know who and how was Mr. Nkosi going to assist me in getting such. Secondly, I'm categorically denying that I ever received any such delivery from Mr. Madlanga's side or from Nkosi's side, because I didn't need them at that time. Now, I'm saying also that I am not saying what I'm saying because I'm being asked questions. I don't want to get or be pushed into a corner of saying, yeah, you knew it comes from Madlanga. I had nothing that I've assisted Madlanga with, nothing that I worked with him on, and he had no reason to give me anything because I have never assisted him. I don't think you would invest in a dead horse, because having to do with the tenders is supply chain, and I'm far from the supply chain, so I wouldn't be of any value to him. With regard to whatever that was happening in his investigations, it was being handled in the province. So I'm just saying, to me, I had no real-time dealings with Madlanga that could lead me to interact in such a way that he can give me something. That's what I wanted to say.
General, let me correct one thing. Mr. Madlanga would not have asked for a meeting with you, and he would not have made an effort to meet with you in January 2024 if you had nothing useful to provide to him. The reason you said so yourself, he came to you, is because he sought your assistance or intervention. That's the real reason for the meeting in January 2024. He sought your assistance or intervention. And a month and a half later, there's the issue of impalas. So you are not correct when you say you had nothing to offer him because issues of tenders were supply chain issues. He came to you in relation to issues of tenders because he thought you could assist him. He was not wasting his time when he came to your office in January 2024.
Can I comment, Commissioner? Now, yes, he came to me with the hope as advised by General Tema and Sintumule that go and see General Sibia, he's the acting national commissioner, maybe he could assist. I saw it coming, that why am I being approached when I'm acting? I signed nothing. And what I did, I never assisted him in any way. All I could say was to say, I heard you, I will take it to the national commissioner.
That's the assistance.
It's not. He didn't get what he wanted. I went to the national commissioner, I said, Nascom, I had this visit from this lawyer and Mr. Matala is complaining about 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the national commissioner says, well, I understand that you say the man has got a lease agreement, but the Public Works is not going to dictate to us as to how to utilize our building on our premises. That's the feedback I had to give to Mr. Matala. That was my role.
Thank you. One last thing then we need to go to before we leave Impala's, and that is a recording that was made by witness C when he was questioning Mr. Matlala. You've already...
It's called the Koza here in another called the Koza production starring called the Koza and Cast.Koza. In this country, we don't just drive cars, we love cars. We love cars as much as you do. So slide into our DMs on WhatsApp. Let's find what moves you.
Transcript of this recording is in file 6. At page 632.
No, I tend to forget. I listen.
It's audio recording E. Page 632.
I'm listening.
Do you have it, page 632?
632.
Yes.
Yes.
General Male Speaker 2 is witness C, and then Mr. Matlala is named. And this is the transcript, but we will play the recording as well. The transcript is 2 pages long. Can we play the recording?
It happened, my it was very dangerous. So Timofile the Mbala. Actually, all of them, I don't know. But for a night, I told you this how to that. So never they died all of them. Say to him. So, but they died all of them. So again, don't know when they no, I'm feeling in this. Can you register? So Remember, it's a game reserve. I say private. It's not in the. It's in the wild. It's a 3,000 hectare farm. So they are roaming free. It's not like you can name or the tracker or over the feeder. It's in the wild. So, I already try every day one by one. I think maybe.
General, I don't know if you were able to, if you've heard it before, then it would be easier to follow. If you haven't heard it before, then the transcript is better for you to rely on. But the essence of it is what Mr. Madlanga is saying, is that he gave you impalas, and then he said they died, all of them, and he said there were about 20 of them, and he says, yeah, at the plot, they died, all of them. So Mr. Madlanga here says that he gave you impalas and that he gave you many impalas.
I'm very worried about the evidence leader because she selectively chooses portions that she thinks could only address what she wants to achieve. But also deliberately choosing to ignore the fact that Mr. Madlanga raised an issue and said, I have a problem with this recording. This is not my voice. It was AI generated. That's the first point. The second point is that when you go down, there are a lot of things that I'm going to tell you that witness C said, this is where we went. We took money to. There's no that place. This is what we did here. And I have proof of this and that. She does. All I'm just saying is that I want to, if we were to play this thing, I'm not worried about this recording at all because it's such a lie. In all the things witness C mentioned, I do have plots, bonded, bought more than 4 years ago, all of them. And the plot that I bought is because I was at the city of Joburg. I was working there. I could afford one that was on auction or one that was very cheap. So all I'm saying is that this thing, firstly, even the head of IDEC testified and said the phone was tampered with. Secondly, when you look at the interview, whether the man was under pressure, was being assaulted, or like they used certain relevant portions. So to me, I rejected this video with the contempt it deserves up until I get proven wrong or an expert is called that this voice was not manipulated. It is the man himself. But I don't want this thing to be used against me when I'm going to prove to you in the following lot of them that, in fact, this is not true.
So let me just say to you, General, first of all, this was introduced into evidence by the investigators who were present at the time that the recording was took place. This has nothing to do with IDAC. IDAC's never raised any objection in relation to these recordings. I can tell you that now. It was introduced into evidence. It was, and it was the testimony of the witnesses who were present. They gave evidence here in this commission. Mr. Madlanga may deny that that is a recording for whatever reason he wishes to say this is AI generated. But what I'm putting to you here is what the evidence has been that has been placed before this commission. You may respond to it.
I want to respond to.
But when you respond to it, either you say you're not going to be responding to any of this because of your concerns, and I want to be clear exactly what you're saying, whether you're going to answer questions on it or whether you're not.
I will answer questions,
Okay.
Chair. I will answer every question I want to. But what I want to raise as well is that the unfortunate part, I don't want to say in this commission, but the unfortunate part is that if I'm being accused of attempting to disband the political killing task team, and it is the same team that is investigating me, it is the same team that is investigating everyone again for attempting to disband us. It is the same team that is also investigating the recommendations that come from the Madlanga Commission as were given. The same team, whatever that we raise and say they took money, the same PKTT, they took money from Fort Hare with evidence, and that is not coming anywhere. There's a lot of manipulation. This is not a clean investigation at all. Now, when you question me about an investigation that was conducted by the suspects themselves, that took money from Fort Hare, from accused number 1 in Fort Hare University with evidence, investigated by the DPCI. Now, I must be questioned about some junior officials who are corrupt themselves, who booked someone from the cells and then started creating some material that must be produced here and be read here. I don't accept it.
General, when you say this is not a clean investigation, what exactly are you referring to? Are you saying we,
No.
as the commission, are not conducting a clean investigation? What are you talking about?
Chair, I'm far from accusing the chair of that part.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the investigation by that witness, or that chair. I have high respect for this commission. They are fair. It's not referred to this inquiry.
I just wanted to make sure, because the whole of South Africa is listening.
No.
And there may be a lot of misunderstanding around your statement, but I'm happy.
I'm
you've
far
clarified-
from this
you've
one,
clarified
Chair. I'm not
the point.
accusing the chair of anything
Thank
or the
you,
commissioners
thank
of
you.
anything. I'm
Thank you.
talking about the fact that the investigator, if I am accused of attempting to disband the PKTT, and now they are already conflicted, they cannot be the one now to investigate, to start investigating me now. Now, I can point out a lot of issues where they are involved in the commission of an offense with evidence. Now, they are now this, I must sit here and them producing a false evidence against me. Now, why I'm saying that? Why I'm saying that, Chair? Evidence that you have to give me a chance. They say Mr. Matlala used to give General Sibia money at his townhouse in Sandton. The townhouse that I sold before I came to the police. I sold it before I came to the police, and the person who bought is a businessman who took occupation immediately. I never had access. They tell you about the money that was collected somewhere in a circle. There's no circle. I've got pictures in my phone, but even if we were to do inspection in local, there's no circle. Number 2. Number 3, the properties that I have, I do, and that one in Sandton, it was an Airbnb. At that time, I was not even going there myself, because it was just an investment company. Why, Chair, you'll find me trying very hard to have property 1 or 2 or 3 there. I'm almost 60 years old. I've wasted a lot of time. I still don't have a house because of the difficulties I've been put in. Don't be, I don't want to use the fooled by, misled by the wall they show. Get behind the wall and see what is there. There's no house. Now they show my wall, and the wall I built running because there were some intelligence movements who wanted to kill me immediately after that investigation of Richard Mdul. That's why I had to take the money I was given and to build a wall. But if you are to come inside, there's no house. There is a house, the old house that I found there in that plot. And since I came to the police, what I haven't bought anything else other than what I came up with. Whatever car that I have, I came there driving it into the police. Now, all of a sudden, witness, we did this. No. So I'm just saying, please, this one of witness C is a non-starter.
General, you were being asked, we have a transcript in front of us. We've listened to a recording. What Ms. Hassim was asking is, are you going to, given your position about this all being AI generated and are you going to take any questions arising from the transcript? or you refuse to take questions because Mr. Madlanga has said it's AI generated, and your distrust of everybody and their corruption that you have spoken to, it's really a yes, no, I'll take questions, and then we take it from there, or you say I won't take questions, and we take it from there.
From where I'm sitting, because I have nothing to hide, I'm prepared and I really want to take questions on these issues.
Yes, one issue of clarity. You said Mr. Madlanga has said that his voice was AI generated. When and where did Mr. Madlanga say this?
At the ad hoc.
Oh, thank you. Perhaps we should take the adjournment at this stage?
Yes,
and,
thanks, Chair.
Return at 2:10. My commissioners are suggesting 2:15. So let's come back at 2:15.